Rhetorical questions are the bee's knees. I love rhetorical questions. Don't we all love rhetorical questions? see what I did there? I used a rhetorical question. But they do create some confusion. People don't know when they can and when they cannot use them in their B2 First or their C1 Advanced writing exam. So, let's find out. Rhetorical questions can do a lot of things, and using a rhetorical question to do something in one context may not be appropriate for another context. But does it mean that just because you cannot use a rhetorical question to do one thing in this one context, that in this one context you cannot use rhetorical questions at all? No, it doesn't. So, let's talk about the different things that rhetorical questions can do, and then the different contexts in which you can use them to do these things. That sounds great, doesn't it? You see, I did another one. Have you ever wanted to grab someone's attention? I sure know that I have. Daddy, hi! I'm a YouTuber now. Are you proud of me, Daddy? Are you proud of me? Well, rhetorical questions are a great way to grab the reader's attention. But before you go grabbing everyone's attention, think about whether the text you are writing needs you to grab the reader's attention. A review in a magazine needs to grab the reader's attention. Otherwise, the people reading the magazine may not read the review, and so using a rhetorical question at the beginning of your review to grab the attention of the target reader is a really fantastic idea.
Have you ever wanted to prepare for your Cambridge exams from the comfort of your own home? Well, Smash English claims to help you do just that.
An article in a magazine needs to grab the reader's attention. Otherwise, the people reading the magazine may ignore the article. So, using a rhetorical question at the beginning of your article to grab the attention of the target reader is a bloody fantastic idea.
Can you think of anything worse than eating only vegetables? I couldn't, until I tried being vegetarian for a month.
But should an essay do this? No, an essay does not need to grab the attention of the target reader. Who are you writing your essay for? You're writing your essay, usually, for a teacher. And a teacher does not need their attention grabbing because, well, they have to read your essay. It's their job. It's a form of torture. So what are you doing? Grabbing their attention. Stop it. Don't grab things that they don't want grabbing. Okay? Good. If you're writing a report or a proposal, do you need to grab the reader's attention? No. And this is because usually you are writing a report or a proposal on the request of a superior. And the report or the proposal is for the superior. And so you don't need to grab any attention, you just need to do your job and write the report or the proposal. If you try to grab someone's attention in a report, a proposal, or an essay, then you're just demonstrating to the examiner that you don't know what the requirements of the task are. So the problem isn't the rhetorical question. No, the problem is that you're trying to grab attention that doesn't need grabbing. So stop grabbing, alright? Enough of the grabbing. Ugh, grabbing. We can use rhetorical questions to highlight the obviousness of something. And this is a really good technique to use in persuasive writing. So, can you use rhetorical questions for emphasis in your essay? Well, yes, of course you can. Let's pretend that we are writing an essay that is comparing using fossil fuels and using renewable sources of energy. If you are arguing in your conclusion that we should be using more renewable sources of energy, then you could say something like this.
As a result, I believe fossil fuels should be replaced urgently by more sustainable forms of energy. After all, who does not want an environment with less pollution?
And this isn't only appropriate for essays. This is appropriate for all forms of persuasive writing. So, if you're writing a proposal, you could say something like this.
70% of students reported feeling dissatisfied with the grades they achieved at the end of the year. Is it not of paramount importance for students to feel proud of their achievements? As a result, urgent change is needed.
Here, the rhetorical question is not informal. The rhetorical question is not inappropriate. It's persuasive, and it's bloody good. And you could do this sort of thing when you're writing a letter of complaint.
As a customer of 15 years, I felt devalued by the treatment I received. Is this the sort of message your company wishes to send to its loyal customers?
And of course, we can do the same thing when we're writing a review.
Considering all the benefits of watching Smash English, can you think of a single reason not to subscribe? I can't.
So, yeah, subscribe, please. Wow! After all of these examples of using rhetorical questions for emphasis in essays, proposals, letters of complaints, and reviews, who wouldn't want to use a rhetorical question for emphasis? That's what I want to know. Before I continue with this video, I need to say thank you. I need to say thank you to Abel, Xenia, Matthias, Serena, and of course my boy, Nunaromidas. These guys donated to the channel, and wouldn't it be great if you did too? If you think I've helped you pass your B2 First or your C1 Advanced Cambridge exam, then please do consider donating yourself. As always, the link will be in the comment section and the description of this video. Thanks. You can use a rhetorical question as a topic sentence at the beginning of your body paragraphs. And if you are unsure about what a topic sentence is, then you can watch this video up here. It is simply divine, darling. And because we can use rhetorical questions for topic sentences, boy oh boy, they are marvelous for essays. Let us imagine that you are writing a B2 First essay, and you are writing on the fantastic topic of whether it is better to live in the city or the countryside. Whew, how original. Your 3 prompts are pollution, social life, and work. You could begin a persuasive paragraph about the prompt pollution with a rhetorical question. And this rhetorical question could not only serve as a topic sentence to let the reader know what the paragraph will be about, but also as a way of emphasizing an obvious point. Let me show you what I mean now.
Why would anyone want to live in a city full of toxic pollution when the clean air of the countryside is only a short bus ride away?
This paragraph would then go on to explain the problem of pollution in cities and justify why the countryside is better in this respect. Or let me give you another example. Imagine you have just written a paragraph explaining why the countryside is fantastic because there is less pollution. And now you want to contrast this point of view with another paragraph talking about why the city is better because of social life. Well, we can do something marvelous. For our topic sentence, we can combine a rhetorical question with a passive modal reporting verb. Ooh, that sounds complicated, but trust me, you can do it. And if you do it, the examiner will be so excited that they will jump out the window. So, let me show you an example of what I mean.
Despite the above, could it not be argued that living in the countryside makes it harder to have an active social life?
Oh, that is amazing! You can use rhetorical questions in this way too when you're writing articles or reviews. They're a great way to introduce the topic of your paragraph. Now, I do not suggest doing this when you are writing proposals or reports. And that's not because you cannot use rhetorical questions when you're writing proposals and reports. No, it's because you should be using subheadings to introduce the different topics when you're writing your proposals and your reports. So instead of using a topic sentence, you're writing a subheading instead, okay? Yeah. This is very similar to the use of rhetorical questions as topic sentences, but instead of introducing a paragraph, you're introducing the entire question that your text is going to answer. This is a really important thing to do in the introduction of your essays because it lets the examiner know that you know what you need to do.
Both living in the city and the countryside offer distinct advantages and challenges, such as pollution levels, employment opportunities, and places to socialise with friends. These undoubtedly shape our lifestyle choices and overall well-being. Is it preferable to live in the dynamic city or the peaceful countryside?
In this example, the rhetorical question is acting as a sort of signpost. It's not trying to grab attention. No. And it's not trying to emphasize an obvious point. No. Instead, it's saying, hey reader, this is what I'm going to do. If you're interested, read on. If you're not, then go away. But of course, just because rhetorical questions can do lots of things doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best way to always do these things. A text full of rhetorical questions can be really annoying to read. Don't in one text use a rhetorical question to grab attention, to emphasize an obvious point, to serve as a topic sentence, and to introduce the question in the introduction. Because if you do all of these things, then your text is going to read like one big question. And at a certain point, a text is going to need to answer some questions, buddy. And with that, we are finished. That was everything that you need to know about using rhetorical questions for your B2 First or your C1 Advanced Cambridge exam. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. My name is Toby, and this was Smash English.